Welcome to the Realty Rundown, the podcast that cuts through the noise of the real estate world. Your hosts, seasoned industry experts Nick and Nate, are here to guide you through the entire process. Each week, they're breaking down the latest market trends, decoding complex jargon, and sharing insider secrets you won't find anywhere else. Whether you're buying your first home, selling a property, or building an investment portfolio, we provide the clear, actionable advice you need to make your next move your best move.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Realty Rundown from the Nic Wyse team. I'm Nic Wyse, and as you can see, no Nathan this week. He's off this week. He worked his butt off this weekend, and so he's going to get the morning off here and hopefully sleep in. Guys, the episode this week is not good. This is a tough one. We've got a lot of data that's been coming out lately, especially here in Indiana, and it's not great. There's no way to sugarcoat it. I wish every episode that we could do would be a happy, shiny one, but it's not going to be that one. It's going to be one of the most downer episodes we've ever had. We got to talk about this, guys. Indiana is now leading the nation in foreclosure rates. In some reports, we're even possibly setting records. Guys, it's not just a headline. This is a signal of what's going on right here, and it's not just isolated to one city. Indianapolis is kind of the epicenter of this, but this is something that is impacting our entire state, including our market right here in north central Indiana. It's also something that didn't happen overnight. We've basically seen a combination of things, which are higher interest rates. If you're not aware, interest rates have begun to climb again. Reasons for that are very likely the war situation or the armed conflict, whatever it is that we're calling it. That is causing uncertainty in the market. The market hates uncertainty, and so it reacts with higher rates. We've also got some other compounding factors. As you are probably aware, we've seen rising property taxes becoming more of an issue. Talked with a gentleman this morning, actually, earlier. He said his property taxes are now $7,000. And just 10 years ago, they were around $3,000. So it's a huge jump there. And then we're seeing insurance costs rise as well. And this is kind of a happenstance of what's going on in the country abroad, but it affects our insurance rates here in Indiana as well. Somebody's got to pay for all the travesty and the disaster, unfortunately, that's happened throughout our nation over the last couple of years. So simply put, affordability is really stretched right now. Your mortgage isn't going up, right? Most of you have locked in fixed rate mortgages. So it's not the mortgage itself that's going up. It's these escrows, your insurance and your property taxes that you're trying to afford alongside of it. So we're seeing a lot of pressure built up for that. Does that mean it's time to go out and rent? Yes, I sell homes. I also rent a couple homes, but typically you hear me say, is it a good time to buy a home in America? Yes, pretty much always. Well, and in this situation, I'm going to stick to that. Hoosier renters are even more cost burdened right now, if you can believe that. The National Association of Home Builders came out and said in this last year, nearly half of our 813,000 renters in Indiana are paying 30% or more of their income on rent and utilities. So it's not easing up in that sector either. It's very likely we're going to see rents continue to increase as well. I know everybody thinks they're already high enough, but they're actually not as high as they should be compared to the price of homes right now, single family homes. So not a great situation all the way around. I'm just full of good news this morning, aren't I? And what is the culprit of this? It's really no surprise what is causing this. Wages are not keeping up with costs, guys. The consumer right now is facing higher prices for all of their purchases, which leaves a smaller budget for housing. And especially when those fixed costs go up, they're not so fixed because your escrow is not fixed. When it goes up, it doesn't leave anything left in the cupboards. So it's a mess right now, guys. And if you take any one thing from this episode, I want you to think about this. Foreclosures, if you're facing this, you know this already. They don't start with just one missed payment. They actually start months earlier before that occurs when budgets start to get tight. And I know right now a lot of you guys are feeling that pressure. Maybe I've had a very successful career, but I'm actually feeling some of this pressure too lately with some financial constraints. And it isn't a situation anymore where you can just sit there and watch football on a Sunday or basketball on the weekend and your home value just shooting up. We're really changing to a numbers market, and it's just so important right now to know where you're at and to get out in front of things because you probably do have options. One option is not wait for the eventual foreclosure to happen. If you are struggling, call your lender, call me, call somebody, and let's try and get you into a new program. Maybe look at refinancing, doing something to use the equity that you almost certainly have in your home to get you to a position where you can hopefully save your home if you're facing any hardship. And I sure hope that most of our listeners not having to deal with that. But if you are, please reach out for help. All right, guys. This also does not mean that the housing market is collapsing by any means. Actually, in spite of all this, despite us actually having a pretty rough couple of weeks at the Nic Wyse team leading up to this, we had a really active weekend. And we saw several properties that we're working with and buyers and sellers go pending. So we're hoping there's some light on the horizon here. It definitely does mean that there's some shift, though. We're seeing homes take longer to sell. Our average days on market is getting back to what's actually more normal. We'd like to see about a 60 days on market. We're at about 47 now, and 10, 15 years ago, those numbers were 90 or 140. So by no means is the market falling to pieces. But it really matters if you're going to sell right now, you really need to focus on your pricing. The days of kind of asking what you want are pretty much over. You really need to be centered on what is the value of your home. Let's be realistic. Let's set an appropriate price. Know your equity as well. If you are a homeowner already, know your equity position right now and be ready to act on it if you need to. If you need to pull some money out, there are programs right now. There's HELOCs, there's HEALs, there's these secondary loans that you can get. If you need to, get them. And then for buyers, focus on affordability. Don't chase the market. We just sold a home this weekend, actually a situation where there was 8 offers on a single home. We haven't been seeing a lot of that, honestly, but that did occur just this last weekend. Our buyer, fortunately, we were able to advise them they did not chase. They did not win because I don't think the winner won, if that makes sense. The guy that got the home probably overpaid, and we're just encouraging people right now, please don't chase. It is still a very competitive market because inventory remains low, but don't chase. Settle, make sure you got yourself settled down, get the right home, and get it at the right price. All right, guys. Wanted to make this a short episode. As usual, I talk too long, but that's what we've got for you today. If you have questions, again, don't freak out, but if you got questions, call me. I'd like to say that even in these trying times, Nic knows, and if you got questions, I'll get you the wise replies that I promise. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Have a great week.
And that's a wrap on another episode. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you had as much fun as we did. We love sharing real estate insights, but as you can see, we also love to have a good time. This energy and passion is what we bring to every client. Buying or selling a home is a huge deal, but it doesn't have to be stressful. With the right team, it can even be fun. Ready to make your move? Let's connect.